Dive in. So we're looking at Sage 100 right here, right? And again, just the high level again, Sage 100 versions 2020 is the version that we're referencing here that this solution is going to work for. So first thing we'll do is we'll go into AR and we're just going to walk through a typical transaction. We'll go ahead and create this invoice here. So from invoice data entry, and we'll go ahead and create this invoice. Looks like it's behind the scenes here for me. Actually may have opened two of them. There we go. And we'll just walk through these steps here. So again, that you can see the ease of the invoicing solution here. So we'll go ahead and create that. And as you see, as we're going through, there's going to be a couple of areas where you'll notice the invoicing checkboxes are now listed, where previously they weren't there, because again, the integration is tightly woven into Sage 100. So you can see and you can flag on which customers will have this ability and which ones will not. We have our email address here, which needs to be here. So I'm going to send this to myself so that I can receive that email and display that for you guys. Let's add a line item here. We're doing installation. Let's do 2 of those installs. And we'll get our numbers to update properly. So we have that at $150. We'll accept at this point. We'll accept. We'll close out of here. Next thing we'll do is we'll go in and we'll print the invoice. Now, as we go through this, and as Tom mentioned as well, we do have a white gloves team that will walk you through, that'll help walking through the setup of this process here and making sure that all your configurations are set properly and that your system is thoroughly tested before you go live here. But as we can see on our printing screen here, we're going to change our print all. We're going to change that to PDF all. Now, I am working in a demo environment here, so we'll get to a screen where I'm going to have to maneuver the dates just a little bit. You know, nothing specific on your end that you'll have to do. It's just you're going to see me do that here just because we're in a demo environment here. But we'll walk through the process, and the system is going to go ahead and prompt us with the next steps here. We're going to have a couple of questions to answer. So, yes, we'll remove this from the printer. We'll select OK. Do we want to print this in the AR sales journal? Yes, we do want to print this. So to walk us through our normal process, and as you can see, these are processes that you're pretty familiar with today. So things are kind of happening in the way that you typically see them. And this is where I'm going to enter in my date. We're going to fast forward about 5 years here. So make everyone just a tad bit older right here. And we're going to go ahead and print. So we'll let this run through. And essentially what we're doing here, we've created the invoice. And what we're doing now is we're going to go ahead and update. We'll get the prompt here. We'll update the journal here. But in updating the journal, we're also sending this information, the invoice information, to the customer as well as to the customer portal. We'll go ahead. Now, we don't need to print that just yet. So at this point here, do we want to update AR sales journal? We'll say yes. Once we select the yes at this point, this is where all the magic starts to happen behind the scenes, where all the coding is taking place. Now what we're doing is we're pushing that invoice out to the customer via the email address that's listed on file for the customer. Additionally, we're also sending that invoice out to the customer portal. So do we want to print that? We can say yes. That's fine. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my other screen here, and I'm going to grab the email for us, and I'll pull that over here in just a second. And once this email goes through, again, we'll be able to take a look at the template, and I'm going to drag this over for everyone to take a look at. Yes, we do want to update here. Sorry guys, it's way too many screens going on here. So let's drag this guy over. So here we go. Let's make this a little bit bigger. I know it's a little odd because it's coming from me to me, but here's just a generic version of what we were able to do. So we can see here, you're able to populate with your logo. We have a pay now button. We have the amount of $150. We have the details, the invoice number, and there's some flexibility in here where you can customize this messaging. But as you can see, we've gone ahead, we've created that invoice, and we've sent that invoice out to the email address that was on file within Sage 100. Additionally, we'll double click here and we'll open up this PDF. And this PDF is a PDF of the invoice that's created within Sage 100. that's on my other screen, so we'll bring that over for everyone to take a look at it. Make that a little bit bigger. So as you can see, standard email that's created within, or invoice that's created within Sage 100, but that's also attached within the body of the email here, or that, I'm sorry, it's attached to the email itself. So the client has the ability to take a look at the information that's displayed here and or take a look at the email that's attached with the invoice. We're going to click the Pay Now button, but we're not going to actually pay this one here. We're just going to take a look at it, and we'll go to the portal and take a look at this. So once I click that Pay Now button, that brings us to our secure page here. And as you can see, we have the details surrounding the invoice number, the amount, again, the $150, the due date, who it's from, the quantity, the amount, and the ability to have the payment information entered here on our payments page. So again, this is what the cardholder would receive. So he or she now has the ability to go ahead and click Pay Now and populate their information here on this page without having to give a call back to the office, or if they needed to verify this number is right, did I order 3 or did I order 2? We have a hyperlink embedded here for the PDF, again, for that invoice that was generated through Sage 100. So the cardholder has the ability to verify everything is correct, check the box here after all the appropriate information is populated, and then submit the transaction. But again, we're not going to actually make this payment here. I just want you to see the quickness and the succinct and clean, streamlined versions that are processed that we have created here. So from the time the invoice is created, the cardholder has the ability to click that button and come here and make the payment. So let's just say the bill is not due just yet. It's down the line. So we're going to fast forward a little bit. I'll drag over another screen for you here. So what we're going to do is we're going to now log into the customer portal as the cardholder. Now, as the business owner, you've granted this customer the opportunity to log into the portal. So it's something that you have to grant access to. And once you do that, we'll go ahead and log in. And as the cardholder, I can now see a couple of things here. I can see any of the payment informations that I have stored, which is pretty convenient because if there's an opportunity for me to do recurring businesses, doing recurring business with a specific business owner, I may not want to locate my wallet or my purse each time. So to have the convenience of storing my payment information here, I can see the last 4 digits and the expiration date. The cardholder now has the ability to choose from these types of payments to make a payment. Additionally, the cardholder has the ability to take a look at recent payments. The date, the amount, last 4 digits. This information is available. And also down here in the lower left, the invoices. So we can see open invoices. So that invoice for $150, we can see that's listed here. Now, if we wanted the details surrounding this $150 transaction, we do have the opportunity. Again, I am the cardholder, so I can click Pay Now and make that payment here. Or perhaps I want to confirm this information before making the payment. I'll come over here to my view option. We'll click. The window's going to expand and it's going to present us with the details surrounding that invoice. So again, we have the invoice number, the fact that it's open, it's unpaid, the amount, again, the due date, email address, any notes, and we also have that PDF that was created for the invoice from Sage 100 available to look at as well. We have the line item information that's available for us to take a look at. So we can see that that's here. And if we're satisfied at this point and everything looks good, we can go ahead and hit Pay Now, which we'll do at this point. So we'll use one of the vaulted cards. If we wanted to create a new card, we could do that. But in this case, we'll use the existing card. We'll enter the dollar amount of the transaction. And we will pop in an address. Yep. We'll check our box that we agree to make the payment. But this is a condensed view here. We can expand by show the invoice details. And again, you have all the details. Again, making sure that you are making the appropriate payment against the right invoice. If that information looks good, we'll go ahead and hit Make Payment. The system will run. And as you can see here, we have the details surrounding that transaction. So we can see it was approved, the amount, the status, last 4 of the card digit, the cardholder's name, all this great information is available. We can email this to a different email address, or we can print this out. Okay, we're going to X out of here. Now on my other screen here, let's see. So I have kind of an email, an alert. So as the business owner, I get an alert letting me know that, hey, there was a payment that was processed. Who made the payment and the amount. And I can see the invoice number. So as the business owner, I get that notification just as soon as the payment is made, which is pretty quick. So this way you're not going back in at random times. You can just go and rest assured that you'll be notified when the payment is processed. Now, if we go back here to the dashboard, we'll see that $150 transaction. It's gone because it's no longer open. It's now here with our recent payments. So as the card holder, once I log into the customer portal, I can see all this great information. I can see that it's been completed. I'm going to fast forward here, and let's go back into Sage 100. So we've made the payment as the business owner. We've gotten the notification that the transaction has gone through. Now, what I would do here is I would go in, still here within AR. I'll go into cash receipt. And this is going to load up here for us. We're going to generate a new deposit number. And here's one of the other new buttons here, which is the e-invoice payments button. We'll go ahead and select that button. We'll be prompted to select the date in which we want to import the information. And we'll select today's date because we got the notification today. We'll proceed. And then within a second here or two, the system is going to reach out and it's going to make communications with Paya Connect to confirm that transaction that was processed. And it'll see that there was one payment that was processed. We'll select OK, and it brings in that dollar amount for that transaction for us. So we can now accept. And what we could do here, if there were multiple invoices that we've selected or that we brought in, by selecting the magnifying glass, you now can see which invoice was brought in. So we can see what's for this customer, and we could see the transaction details. So if there were more invoices, we would have a list of those here for you. But we can see that transaction is brought in, which is great. We'll now X out of here. We'll go into our cash receipt journal. And now we're going to go ahead and sync those transactions and update the journal with the payments that was just processed to the customer portal. So we'll go ahead and print. And this will walk us through here. And I know we're butting right up against time, so I'll try to rush us through this to make sure that we're respectful of everyone's time here. As this is finalizing here, any questions? Any questions? At this point here, we're just going to go ahead and update the cash receipt journal. And then that process is completed. So we've now successfully processed that transaction here. Oh, I've done too many clicks here, sorry. Do we want to print that? We'll say yes. So now we've successfully emailed or created the invoice, email that out to the customer, allow the customer to make the payment through the web link, or in this case, the customer made the payment through the customer portal. And as the business owner, I was able to pull the transaction back in through the cash receipts journal and update the customer's record accordingly.